Hey everybody, what's up? I heard something today that made my mouth drop open. This is ridiculous. ESPN's Adam Schefter, who typically does a good job, didn't do a good job today. He threw in his 2 cents about the NFL MVP to this point in the season. Here's his quote. Quote unquote. Can't say that anybody else is more deserving of the MVP at this point in the season than Michael Vick. What? I'm going to do my best not to come completely unglued. I'm not going to try to turn red and yell this entire video. But I can't make any promises. First off, Michael Vick's only played 3.5 games this season. You have to take that into account. You know who the real MVP is at this point in the season? Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning has produced just as much. He's produced way more. Forget just as much. He's produced more because he's played every game this year, while Michael Vick's only played 3.5 games. That factors into your MVP credentials. Now, before it sounds like I'm killing Vick, let me give him his props. Michael Vick has been a beast this season. I'm a little shaky on the competition he's done it against, outside of the Colts, who are decent. Not a great defense, but decent performance. Lions, Jags, alright. I need to see more by Vick. But the time that he has been out there, regardless who he's been doing it against, he's been spectacular. He's been magnificent. He's done far more than I thought he was going to do. Come on, the guy hasn't started for 3 years, and he comes out and he's thrown 7 touchdowns, no picks, and has more rushing yardage than Sean Moreno on 40 fewer carries. Going into week 10, that's unbelievable. But it's only 3.5 games. I mean, that's outside of the name recognition. If you say good production in 3.5 games versus good production in 8 games, which is more valuable? The guy that hasn't missed time. And then you compare the weapons. Look at Peyton Manning. No Dallas Clark. He's got Austin Collie and Anthony Gonzalez, who aren't household names to begin with, injured as well. He's got guys like Blair, what the heck's the guy's name? Blair White, sorry. Had a brain freeze. Excuse me, not exactly Jerry Rice out there. He's got Blair White, Jacob Tamme, Pierre Garçon. Come on. Are you kidding me? And no running game to speak of whatsoever. That team is garbage without Peyton. Literally, they are. Without Michael Vick, they're not as good as they are, but they aren't 4-12 or whatever the Colts would be. They're not. There's a big difference right there. And then the other thing that drives me crazy, everybody rants and raves about Michael Vick's running ability, where it's, oh, you got a game plan for this, and the dimension that he brings to the team, and it's unbelievable. Yeah, there's an upside. There are a lot of positives, but there's a downside also. How did Michael Vick miss a couple of games this year? Anybody want to say? Oh, that's right, because he got injured running the football. So you can't make it as if that's a positive all across the board. The bottom line, Vick's played 3.5 games. Peyton Manning's played 8. Peyton Manning has done more with less and produced more than Vick. End of story. Case closed. To this point, it's Peyton Manning, and it's by a landslide. I'm Brian No, and that's a no-brainer.